Are real estate prices coming under pressure? What's up, guys? My name is Luca Gelmini, and I'm a real estate agent with eXp in beautiful San Mateo County. Today, I want to talk about coming interest rates, the Fed, 30 years fixed rates and all of that, adjustable mortgage rates. What's going to happen? Is real estate going to get more expensive? Is it going to stay the same? Is it going to get cheaper? Is there going to be more supply? What's going to happen? So, I have my handy dandy list, of course, with my awful handwriting. And this sun is like way too damn bright. My skin looks good though. What's been going on? So, for those that don't know, the Fed is more than likely going to update the basis points for interest rates by 0.25%. So, what does that mean? 25 basis points or 0.25%, whatever you want to call it. What does that mean? So, you basically, at the federal level, the Federal Reserve is increasing the rates, interest rates, higher, so it's going to be more expensive to get a loan. So if you have a fixed rate, you don't have to worry about this because that's why you lock it in for 30 years. But if you have an adjustable mortgage rate, then you're going to have to worry about it. So what's actually going to happen? The plan has been for the Fed, and the report is actually coming out today, March 16th, that they're going to increase these more than likely at least 7 times and potentially 17 times. That's always fun. So what does this mean for regular people like us? What is that going to do? So if you have margin debt, that is a huge red flag immediately. So with margin debt, what happens is you're going to get completely wrecked because when interest rates go up, margin interest rates go up as well. And lately, we've been in the highest margin debt since pre-pandemic. And so that pre-pandemic was $550 billion in debt, margin debt. And now we're 60% higher. That's always nice. So if you're in margin debt right now, I would highly recommend that you pay off your debt as soon as you possibly can, because with these higher interest rates coming every 6 weeks, because that's when the Fed meets, you're going to be in deep trouble if you can't pay it. Okay. Number 2. So what I was talking about, that 30-year fixed rate. So those fixed rates are going to go from averaging 2.8 to 4.15%, and it could potentially be 5%. We don't know. Depends on how far the Fed wants to go with it. And so, what does this mean for the average buyer? This means with 1% increase in interest rate, we're going to have about 10% of buying power taken away. Do I think a recession is going to happen? More than likely not, because the way that they're going to do it is going to be incremental, so it's not going to be a huge effect on the economy, and it's not going to be as intense as most people think it's going to be. Number 3, HELOC and ARMs. So what are these? So ARMs are adjustable rate mortgages. These are going to increase, as I said in the beginning, because that's the whole point of an adjustable rate, is that if the rates increase or they decrease, you either benefit or not benefit from it. But so if something goes up to 3.5%, your rate's going to go up 3.5%. So you're going to need more cash on hand. I would highly recommend that you guys have more cash on hand. And then HELOCs, so home equity lines of credit. These are also variable interest loans. And then until you pay them off, and then you lock in a percent, and then after the 10 years, you're going to be amortizing it after that. During that first 10 years, it's adjustable. So if it's adjustable and it goes up by 25 basis points or 0.25%, then you're going to be increased 0.25% every 6 weeks. Now, the real question, do I think that interest rates are going to come back down? Well, probably, maybe, but it's not going to be for a while. It's probably going to be 2025 when they come back down. That's because they're trying to hedge against inflation, which is at an all-time high right now. So they're trying to get that as low as possible. So it's going to be a couple of years with these high interest rates. So I would highly recommend, as I said earlier, if you have an adjustable rate, HELOC, or anything like that, you definitely are going to need more cash on hand, more than likely. So I would highly recommend having that. Otherwise, you're going to default, and then you're going to foreclose, and then you're going to not have a good life after that, and you're going to be living under a bridge. So what does this mean for banks and savings accounts? Are we going to have, since we have increased rates, are we going to have high yield savings account now? Probably not, because it's not marketable yet. So the banks still have way too much money. So they're not going to want high interest rates because they have too much money already. So they want to get rid of it. So what they're trying to do is get those reverse repo market. They're trying to get into that as much as they possibly can because they don't want to keep this money. So if they if they have all this money and then the interest rates come up, they still have no incentive. They're not going to have high yield bank accounts where it's like, ooh, get 2% on your money and it's completely safe. They're not going to do that until it's very profitable for them. But right now, with the real estate market going as it is, it's not even close to being profitable for them. So I would recommend, instead of taking and putting in the savings to get that, high yield savings account, pay off your student debts because those are also adjustable rates, and then pay off your credit card debts. Those are probably going to go from 16% to 24% if it's not already at 24%. And so every 0.25%, for you guys to know, is probably going to be a 1% increase in the actual rate itself for credit cards as well. So make sure that you guys are paying off your debts and just have as little debt as possible, because in the next coming months, it's not going to be fun if we have a lot of debt and then we have a downward swing in the stock market or real estate market or anything like that. It's just going to be a lot of pain. It's going to be a lot of red. And then lastly, car prices. Oh my God. And lastly, car prices. What does that mean? Why? Because car prices are at all-time highs already, so that's super fun. I remember paying for my car. It was pretty penny, because even though I was buying on the used market, everything was super hot and everything get bought in like a week, so that was super fun. But the problem with it is if you buy it with a loan, those loans are also adjustable, so those are going to go up as well. So I would be very aware, if you're going to buy a car, do it as soon as possible, because it's just going to get more expensive. It's so the real estate market's already, the car market is already up, I think 30%. You're paying 30% higher for a car that was this, like a year ago or 2 years ago. And now with increased rates, now you're going to get double. You're going to get double, basically, because you're going to pay a more super premium for this car. But then you're also going to pay a higher interest rate if you have a loan on it as well. So please get it as soon as possible. And just, if you're going to buy a car, do it sooner than later. Anyways, enough about the bad news. What do we do to counteract this? How do we react? Well, if you really are into stocks and you really want to get after it, what you can do is go into bond values. Those are actually, so if you go in what's called iShares, so specifically, I'm going to read it to you. iShares 20+ year Treasury bond ETF, parentheses TLT. Why am I saying to do this? Because when interest rates and yields go up, bond values go down, because you're trying to get more money into the market. And so what you can actually do is short these bond rates. And as of right now, the borrow rate to short this exact bond is minus 0.59%. So they will I know it sounds really stupid. I promise you it sounds stupid, but they will actually pay you to short this ETF, short these treasuries. It's an unbelievable time that we live in. I can't believe that we actually live in a time like this, but we do, and we just got to figure out how to make some money. Either way, thank you guys for watching today's video, and I appreciate a like or a follow, and I will see you guys in the next video.